Good afternoon, good evening to you all. It's Wednesday today. Welcome to the Full 100. It's the hum day of the week. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of December as well. Today is a very, very different show to my normal shows. However, it is what we do. We're here to challenge stuff. We're here to try and change behavior where we can. Many of you in the black community would have come across a video that's going viral, regarding a fellow from South London, Brixton, called Vincent. Someone I came across well over 30 years ago now myself. Before I get into it, I just want to say a few things. Our community is very, very used to turning a blind eye. And I get where it comes from, because we're under attack from the outside. So we sort of look, it feels like we're looking out for each other, but we're not, because I'm going to go on to, we don't really. But then there are many things we accept that should not be accepted as a community. We're growing up now. When I mean growing up, I don't mean we're 50s or 60-year-olds. I mean, we know better now. As a collective, we're all growing up. Even if you're 2 years old, you're growing up. Why? Because you're being raised by someone who's learned better, who's done better, who should know better. So as a community in total, we are growing up. These things need to stop. I've been present when a brother met a sister for the first time more than once. More than once. Literally, a brother being introduced to a sister, and they both live in Tottenham. I've been present when a brother's met a sister and they live in Stoke Newington to get in the same neighborhood. It's only by chance they haven't had contact, get in a relationship, have kids, only to find out later on that they're actually same blood. I've been present in an unfortunate situation when one cousin fired a shot that hit the person he intended it to hit, but then went through the wall and hit his own cousin who he didn't even know about. No one knew they were cousins. Neither of them knew they were cousins. They only found out they were cousins at the funeral. These things are very, very common in the black community. They're not common in any other communities, my people. They're not. Why are they common in our community? Because of how we've run our lives. Because of what we've deemed acceptable and tolerable. That's the only reason why. We have 3 cancers, I believe, in our communities. First cancer is pedophilia. Masked up as being a ladies' man. Guy's a pedophile. When we was growing up, this sort of bullshit was masked up as what we call gallus, ladies' man. You know? Time for that to stop. Pedophilia masked up as ladies' man needs to stop. You're a pedophile if you're past a certain age and you're still entertaining, enticing, raping, molesting, targeting anyone below the age of 18. I don't care how big they look, how mature they look. It's pedophilia. Second thing is black on black violence and hate, where we're very much quicker to back out that knife or that gun if the person looks black. Because in the back of our heads, in the back of our minds, we sort of believe we can get away with this much more likelier than if we moved to someone of Turkish descent or white or Pakistani or whatever other race or nationality. When we see a black person, it doesn't matter what nationality they are. We've become immune to seeing a black body on the pavement. that needs to stop. So the second one is black on black hate and violence, which will be my next topic next week, Wednesday. The third one is the lack of support and empathy towards our causes and our pain and our fights. I watched this summer many high-level entertainers I know, DJs, MCs, not one of them put a Black Lives Matter post or anything on their social media because they're into music and they don't want to go political. But a year and a half ago, Bataclan in Paris, when all those people were massacred, these same DJs and MCs put the French flag as their profile photo. Yeah, I remember every one of them who did. So what happens to the French, who they've never met, who they have no kinship with, who they have no shared experiences with, other than being that they're Europeans like we are over here, is more important to them, and they feel they're more likely or they will more get something out of putting their fight up and promoting it, rather than the cause of their own people that has the potential to free up their coming generations down the road. That too needs to stop, and that I will be addressing 2 Wednesdays from now. Today's show is about this pedophilia crap that we're still having to deal with. So without further ado, guys, let's get to today's show. I'm going to show the first clip of this young lady's video. Her name's Afua, and my people have told me she used to be part of Forever Family, which I have many friends within that organization. I hear she's an activist, and I hear she recently moved out the country, which is a shame because that's what seems to have given her the courage to speak up. Since she's spoken up, I've seen numerous videos, numerous people have come out. There is a case they are now trying to push. God bless Afua for her efforts. And I would have to be an a-hole not to pick up this fight and address these issues that we're facing while we're here addressing all the other bits and pieces. They're all related and they're all interlinked. Take a look at my first video.
Right, so I'm making this video because I really feel compelled to have to do it. I'm not usually one for making videos or putting things up on social media to any great extent, you know, not really my thing. But this one, I want it to go viral. I want this video to go worldwide. I want everybody to see it. But particularly, I want people in the community of Brixton of a certain age. Anybody who's over the age of 40 will remember this person that I'm about to tell you about. Anyone. Yeah? If you lived in the Brixton area and you're over the age of 35, 40, you will remember this individual. I'm going to tell you about a persistent, prolific predator that is a scourge in our community. I'm going to tell you about a predator that is such a bad man that nobody would ever challenge this individual. This individual that enjoyed going around killing people, enjoyed going around raping young girls. We are talking about an individual that has impregnated and systematically raped a whole generation of black women in the Brixton and South London area and probably beyond. We're talking about an individual that was literally like the Debo. Remember Debo from Friday? He was literally the Debo of the black community in South London at that time. This individual is a disgusting individual. This is the season for calling out nonces and paedophiles, okay? Now, this individual has had a reign of terror that spans probably about 30 or 40 years. This is an old man now, he's in his 60s, coming up maybe even 70. He's still at it. I heard news today that he's got another 14-year-old girl pregnant. I spoke to my daughter's godmother last night. She told me that yes, she too was raped by this individual at 12 years old. Yeah? The individual that I'm talking about is none other, if you haven't guessed it already and you're from Brixton, who used to walk and terrorise Brixton? Whose daughters wasn't safe in Brixton back in the day? You know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about none other than Vincent Dirty Rat Vincent Rat, paedophile Vincent Rat.
Welcome back. When I was growing up in the 80s, when I was in my teens, I was 20 in 87. When I was growing up, and all my North London crew, East London crew can vouch for this. South London, especially Brixton, were known as rapists. And this guy, Vincent Rat, added to that. Because when you're hearing, if you're from South and you're hearing of the elders are doing this, what's stopping you from doing the same thing? Because people are looking up to this guy, they're scared of this guy. You're hearing he's doing this thing on a regular basis. It inspires those who have weaker minds to go the same route. Many of you know I'm telling the truth. South London, especially Brixton, was rape land. But this was 30 years ago. 33 plus years ago. It was shocking when I saw that video last week, Thursday, early hours of Thursday last week. And I've had numerous conversations. And I'll tell you something. The reason I'm doing this video is some of the conversations I've had with friends and acquaintances has been shocking. We're still, part of our community is still prepared to see a 16-year-old that she's mature, 15-year-old that she's mature. But when you refer to them, then they take a different position. Why? Because we accept it. We've learned to accept it. Right? The world has pressed the reset button, guys. The world's agreed. We don't want no more Epsteins and Weinsteins and Jimmy Saviles and Rolf Harrises. I've dug into this with those who know the story before I've done this, because this channel is all about the truth. So I'm not going to call anyone out for no reason without going down to the bottom of it. This is disgusting. And as a community, we need to press that reset button too. Take a look at the second part of this video.
Impregnating young girls from the 1980s come right up even beyond that. That's who I'm talking about, okay? Cecil Rubin's niece, Nadine, you lot know her. She walks up and down Brixton like a crazy person. Former client, yeah? I know this girl. She disclosed to me that he raped her in her uncle's shop back in the day. You all know the shop. Cecil Rubin, Hootanani, and I all know the shop. Cecil, if you knew, you're complicit. Whoever knew about it was complicit. Whoever knows about all the other girls and the 15 children, if not more, who are now in their 20s or their 30s, who were sired as the victim of rape when their 12-year-old and their 13-year-old and their 14-year-old mothers were raped by this monster in our community. The Jimmy Savile, the what's this guy's name? Weinstein of our community. He is the Jimmy Savile and the Jeffrey Epstein and the Harvey Weinstein of our community. Vincent, dirty, blood clot, rat. You're a paedophile. You're a perpetrator. Yeah? You even try to look me when I was about 15 at a park event when you used to have rat security, but I never pay you no mind. I ran away from you and your friend in your car. So I know you're about it. Yeah? And now I'm hearing so much coming out, but people are still too afraid to talk. The man them that would never challenge you. The daughters of the brothers that you raped, who would never challenge you because they were too scared of you. They said that you had good abia. They said you worked D. Lawrence. They said you was a police snitch. Nobody would challenge you, Vincent Rat. But me, here, today, from my location, I'm challenging you. You are a dirty paedophile, Vincent Rat, and whoever wants to support him, why are you up in the Nation of Islam? Talk to me, brother Abdul Karim. Talk to me, Freddie Daly, because you must know who this guy is. Brother Hillary, Abdul Karim. You lot are Brixtonians. Brother Wayne, you're Brixtonians. Why is Vincent Rat allowed in the mosque? This is why I stopped working with you when I saw this rapist, this scourge in our community. rape a whole generation of sisters, got children all over the place, probably even procreated with each other, having disabled children. We don't know. He's prolific. There must be hundreds, and I'm saying today, DM me, sisters, if you want to do something about it, because there is no upper limit in it being able to take sexual abuse historic cases to court. You are a scourge in our community, and I will not rest until your head is on a platter. You're bright about your working in the black community to make things better and work with the youths and the gangs and give money to nation and them things there. Go pay your victims. Pay your victims. Some of them are crack whores on the road. Some of them have committed suicide. Some of them are mentally ill because of you, Vincent, dirty, blood clot, rat.
Guys, getting a 14-year-old girl pregnant by a nearly 70, because he was a good 20 years older than me, or just under. So this guy's got to be between sort of 67, 65, between 65 and 70, if not 71 or 2. Getting a 14-year-old girl pregnant is unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. That girl's old enough to be his great-granddaughter. I remember when my daughter was 16, she turned 30 last Friday. Those of you who watched my video on Friday. I remember when she was 16, she went for an operation. And she was stuck in hospital for like a week. And I flew down from Spain. We lived in Spain at the time. And I flew down to just get her to escape the hospital and, you know, cheer her up. So I took a nail shop. And I literally flew in on the Saturday, went to see her Saturday, stayed the Saturday in hospital. I was flying back on a Sunday. So it was a Sunday that I sneaked her out the hospital and took her to the nail shop to get her nails done to cheer her up. And she was still in pain, so she was walking a little bit funny, you know, in pain. And then we go out the car. I was 39 because I'm 23 years older than my daughter. She was 16, I was 39. I remember a grown black man said to me, what you do to the girl? Like, you know, like it was okay. Like I was meant to boast. When I heard it and I saw the smirk on his face, the way he said it, I nearly killed this guy if it wasn't for my daughter. I went at him, I said, that's my little girl. What the heck? You can imagine the words that I used, right? But this is what I'm talking about. Where he should have had the look of disgust on his face, and I went, bro, no, that's my little girl, that's my little girl. He had sort of a look to say, boy, you're such a bad guy, man. What have you done to this girl? Sort of thing. That's the mentality that needs to change, people. That's the mentality that needs to change. This guy needs to be locked up. Anyone who watches this video and you remember any family member that molested you, go to the police and try. If you remember anyone in the neighborhood might have moved out, whatever, go to the police and try. It always takes one person to talk up and then everybody else follows suit. Be that first person. Make sure these people are ostracized from our communities. Make sure these people are banished from our communities. Let's start protecting our little girls. Let's start protecting the next generation. Now, I'm going to show you my last video. It's not a video. Voices speaking about their experiences. Now, pay attention to the last voice. There are 3 voices that speak. Pay attention to the last voice. When I heard that guy, it angered me. Because he was actually being worried for Afua to say, oh, he can reach you in God, he can reach you wherever you are, you know, he can reach you. Boy, you're going to hear about this. This is bad. This is bad. I think she was drunk to even speak up about this. See, people like them, people like the guy on that last voice message, they too need to be flipping ostracized from the community. Because instead of saying, good on you, girl, I got you, what can I do to help? He's saying, boy, was you drunk when you did that? Boy, what did you do? Oh my days, you speaking up about this? Boy. It's annoying. It's diabolical. And like I said, the world has reset the button. We in the black community need to do the bloody same like last decade. Not even like now, like last flipping decade. Take a listen at these and I'll see you on the other side to say my goodbyes.
It's disgusting, and what frightens me is that he lives very close to me. Paulette Road is the next road to mine, and at the time when he was doing all of this, she said, if you're age 40 or whatever, I've so many people, I've put it up, and people have said I used to have to hide from him. Someone else said he kidnapped my friend for 2 days. Him and his friends raped her for 2 days. Other people have said, you know, there's people who've turned to drugs because of him. Other people have said he used to go out with my school friend while we were at school. He used to go out with her. And I said, why didn't anyone report him? Apparently he was a police informer. He'd murdered people as well, and people knew he'd murdered people, so there was nowhere to turn. The police were supporting him because he was an informer.
I want you guys to know that this is not a theory. This is not allegations, or this is true fact, faces fact. This woman who's talking, Afwa, yeah, we used to date back in the day. She's an actor, an activist and stuff. And Vincent tried to rape her. Now Nadine, who he's talking about, which is Cecil Rubin's niece, I know, because me and Richard Taylor go around together, he raped her. Blatant. Yes, but people are afraid to come to light. She has done a solicitors, she's going to solicitors, but she wants people to know, and anybody who does know, any of these victims, to come forward. Not an allegation, and it is going to the police, but in order for this to happen, people need to come out of the woodwork, just like they did with this Jimmy Savile and the Weinsteins and everybody else. Everybody knows Vincent Rat from the Brixton. He used to run Rat Security. You know, he was a bully. He was a rapist as well. How much kids has he raped? Many. I know this because I used to work with Vincent in security until Vincent himself killed my cousin and the security on the door. Blatant, got off the case. He was an informer. He works for the police. No allegations, facts.
Well, Pat, and well, whoever knows this little situation now, I pray for that girl. I think she must have been having a couple of drinks on holiday. I hope she gets deported to stay there, mate, because he can reach out over there as well. But if she's on a high and she's got to come back, and even she ain't coming back, she's going to put her family in danger doing that, man. Wow.
Guys, this is the end of the video. I want to finish by saying a couple of things. Nation of Islam, what are you doing? What are you doing, really? I have a lot of time and respect for Nation of Islam. God knows that. Leo Muhammad, he graced our Million People March over the summer. He was our main speaker. I love the guy. I love what he represents. And I understand he might have come to you guys as a repented person. Of course, that's what religion is meant to be. If someone's put down what they're doing and they come to any church, any religious sect, accept them. I get that. But the minute you hear they're still doing what they're meant to be doing, what they say they're repenting against, and something like this comes out, and nothing's on social media from yourselves, do better than that. Please do better than that. Guys, next week Wednesday, as I said, we're going to address the second cancer in our community, and that's black on black violence and hate. I'm going to use the next 3 Wednesdays, today, next week, and the week after that, to address our community solely. So look out for my videos. Please subscribe to the channel. Click subscribe. Support what we're doing. Share this video so we start to change the behavior in our communities. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you all Friday. All the best. Bye-bye.